So you went from flipping pieces to flipping houses.
Yeah, a little bit.
When you got into when you was looking at, it was realtor, wholesaling, like was there any other avenues in real estate that you were kind of looking at?
It was, for me, in the beginning, it was all about like the income. So it was either being a realtor or a wholesaler.
Okay.
I knew from the beginning wholesalers could have made a lot more money than realtors, but it was either one for me.
I know you told me about this new strategy you're doing. Not really that much people talk about it, but how are you cash flowing on houses? Tell me your strategy. Like, what is it? And how can people cash flow on houses without even owning them?
It's a simple concept and a simple strategy. It's in the creative finance type of world, but it's a strategy called slow flip, where you're not necessarily flipping the house like a wholesale and getting a big chunk. You're not flipping it and getting a bit large chunk. You slow flipping it. So what you're doing is you're buying a distressed asset, right? As is. Let's just say the as is value is $100,000.
Okay.
And let's just say the ARV is $200,000. Instead of wholesaling it, what you're gonna do is you're gonna close on it, and then you're gonna resell it to an end buyer, but on owner finance terms.
How does a 25-year-old close over 300 deals at the age of 25 before most people even buy their first house? Well, in this episode of an Allin Podcast, we'll be going over an entrepreneur's story on how they dominated the real estate game very young. So I'm with my guy Tyson.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, y'all? My name is Tyson. I'm a 25-year-old real estate entrepreneur located in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Here on my brother's podcast.
Let's go. Let's go. It's our second one on the channel, but the first one I feel like just didn't do it justice. So again, on the Allin Podcast, this is just the raw, uncut. What I like to say when I bring on guests is people will be impressed by your accomplishments, but people will be impacted by your failure, right? So I want to show the good and the bad, because sometimes when you go all in, you lose big. Sometimes you win big. So, bro, how did you even get started in real estate? Take me back to when you first got started.
So, to take you back when I got started in real estate, taking you back to high school when I was about 17 years old, kind of just trying to figure out my life, what I was going to be doing. And going into my senior year, I stumbled across real estate in general. And I met an individual who then told me that I was too early to become a real estate agent. So he was like, hey, man, how about you just learn this thing called wholesaling? So
Yeah.
taught me about wholesaling, and he assigned me with the task of getting 20 properties. He's like, hey, go find 20 properties that was abandoned, look boarded up, look distressed some way. And he said, hey, write them down and to get them homeowners a call, see if they want to sell. So I simply did that, and that was like my first introduction into real estate, just going out there and doing that.
Gotcha. So you didn't start off as a realtor. You started off at just wholesaling.
Yeah, I started off wholesaling, but I wanted to be a realtor. So I was researching on YouTube a little bit, and I just found out that, as a realtor, they make pretty good money. So I wanted to be a realtor, but I was 17, so I couldn't start making money right then and there.
Okay.
So that's what kind of got me into wholesaling. That's how I found out about it.
Makes sense. So the barrier of entry for wholesaling is easier than being a realtor.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't need anything. You don't need any license. You don't need any prerequisites or anything like that. So it's definitely easier.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you were, in the journey of trying to find what you wanted to do, did you stumble across any other pathways other than real estate, or it was hey, real estate is kind of the way, or what was that process like?
And so before I got into real estate, I wanted to become a chef. I really love cooking. I cooked for my family throughout high school, things like that. I had got an internship at a restaurant in high school. Long story short, I realized after a day working there that wasn't what I really wanted to do, and I really wanted to be. I just found out cooking was just a passion for me. So that led me to get into real estate, because I was like, man, I know I want to make a lot of money, but I need to be in the right vehicle that will allow me to. And I just realized cooking was going to take me there. It could have got me there, but it just would have took way longer. So that's how, just got curious, started getting on YouTube, and that's how I found out about real estate.
You got yourself from chef to real estate. Did you have a job when you was like first getting into real estate, or you just jumped out the point to straight real estate?
So, um, as most high school students, I had a part-time job at Papa John's, so I wasn't working more than about 20, 25 hours a week. So, I wasn't really taking that serious. So, I had a little side hustle or something like that. Just putting some money in my pocket to go eat, not ask my parents for a lot of money, just have some change in my pocket. That's it.
Nah, for sure. So you went from flipping pieces to flipping halves.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nah, for sure. So, when you got into like when you was looking at it was realtor, wholesaling, like was there any other avenues in real estate that you were kind of looking at? It was just realtor and wholesaling.
It was for me in the beginning. It was all about like the income. So it was either being a realtor or a wholesaler.
Okay.
I knew from the beginning wholesalers could have made a lot more money than realtors, but it was either one for me.
Got you. That makes sense, bro. That makes sense. So what was your mindset like at like going through this process, like starting off? Because a lot of people that start off entrepreneurship, like mindset is really huge. Like, so where was your mind at? What was it set on? And kind of like take us through like just that early start mindset that you had to have.
Um, I just had a lot of hunger. I had a lot of will in me. My mindset was just like, hey, I gotta change my family situation. So, with that mindset just led me to just going absolutely hard. And with me already playing sports at the time, I knew like, okay, what my coaches kind of preached about just being dedicated, being disciplined, just took those same values and just dedicated to business and making money. But I just had that hunger mindset. I had that like just a will. I heard a guy say that instead of what do you say? I didn't want to. I changed from I didn't want to mindset to I had to mindset. So that was just me. I just had to, and I knew I had to change my family situation. So that was my mindset.
I like that, y'all. When you change your perspective from I want to I have to, I feel like that's a big pivotal shift because it ain't like, okay, I want to do this. I want to try. It's like, I have to, like, this what I have to do. This what I have to, you know, do. So, I mean, that's a solid thing. Cause one thing my dad always say, and I grew up on was like, you do what you don't want to do so you can do what you want to do.
Right.
So a lot of people like want to do what they want to do, whether that's like, getting the cars, the vacations, the checks, the money, whatever you want to do. It's on the other side of what you don't want to do. And that's what a lot of people don't grasp. And what a lot of people haven't wrapped their mind around is like, okay, I got to do what I don't want to do to eventually do what I want to do. So that's a big mindset.
And for me, it was I won't say a big struggle to do that, but um, I never looked at myself early on as like an entrepreneur or like a sales type of guy. But with that mindset, I knew I had to kind of change and become that if I wanted to get to where I wanted to be. So I had to, start hitting the phones, had to start getting uncomfortable, doing things like that I wouldn't normally do, but just to change my situation.
Nah, for sure. So you had to become the person before you started seeing the money pretty much?
Um, yeah, in a sense, right? I would say so. Just thinking about it because if you don't, or at least if you don't have the mentality to, like, you gonna pretty much probably quit. I'm just thinking about all the people that say they want to get into real estate, all the people that just talk about it, but they haven't hit that mental shift yet in their life. And it's still like, I might or I might not do it, right? So I think you have to in order to actually see some success, just because real estate do take some time to get good and real estate do take some time to be successful.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that was a gem, y'all. Just pretty much put yourself in that I have to mindset. Like you got to put your back against the wall and just, fight. Like if you want to be, let's say for real estate, if you want to be successful in entrepreneurship, it's like you got to fight. You ain't got nobody over your head like a manager. Yeah. Make sure you do your calls today. Make sure you make your offers. So if you want to be an entrepreneur in real estate, like everything is on you. Like it's you versus you at that point. It ain't nobody else. It's you versus you at that point. So did you like, I know you said you had a mentor early on.
Yeah.
What is having a mentor pivotal or is trial and error more pivotal? Like, which one would you think is more pivotal? Having a mentor, he's gotten you, or like trial and error?
I would say both. You're still gonna kind of experience both, but I think a mentor just sped up my process a lot faster than a lot of people, just because I had somebody that can answer questions. I had somebody that can guide me throughout the whole entire process. So I would say I would get a mentor, but you still gonna have a lot of trial and error as well, just because of the experience and you just getting out there. You're gonna experience stuff your mentor don't even experience, and you're gonna have to learn through it. So I would say getting a mentor definitely is the way to go, right? But you still gonna have some trial and error.
So, would you recommend people getting a mentor to start off real estate, or do you just think like, hey, YouTube got everything you need? What you think?
I would say, yeah, I would try to get a mentor, and I would actually I'll work for him probably for free, to get him the mentor. If you have the money, you could pay him, right? You just got to add value to that person that you want to be like. So I definitely recommend somebody getting started in real estate. Get a mentor. Definitely can help you get to where you want to go faster. And you can just learn. Like I feel like in the first few years in real estate, learning is way more important than actually just making the money, because the money gonna obviously come. So
That's what I said. Why you say learning is more important than the money?
because in the first few years in real estate, you're really not good enough. You don't have the skills you need to sustain a lifelong career in real estate. So I just feel like in the beginning, if you can actually build a solid foundation and learn everything that you need to be successful, then your career in real estate is probably going to be longer than somebody that didn't.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And yeah, I mean, if you watch the show, I always say wisdom is more valuable than gold, right? So,
Yeah.
and that's what everything like. Wisdom is more valuable than gold, because once you got the wisdom, the gold would just free flow because you got the wisdom and understand what wisdom is, right? It's our application of knowledge. A lot of people have knowledge but don't have the application. So applying it, like we was talking about putting in the work.
Yeah.
So wisdom is more valuable than gold, y'all. So like your first deal, let's talk about your first deal. How did it feel? What did it look like? How did he get it?
So my first deal, uh, again, take you back to high school. He told me to write down some addresses. So I just took a little step further because I was like, man, I need a deal ASAP. So instead of just doing 20, I started doing 100, and I realized, hey, man, I need to take another step further. So out of those 100 houses that I was getting, driving for dollars, that's what you call it, I was putting sticky notes on their door, and then really I got lucky. A lady called me after 2 weeks, said she wanted to sell. We went to our appointment, and we got on a contract. From there, made $500 in 2 weeks after that and closed the deal. My first deal experience may be a little different from a lot of people because I wasn't really too involved with the transaction.
Mm.
I did this thing called Bird Dog, I would say, where I found the lead, I passed it kind of to an expert, and he kind of handled it from there. So my first deal was like that. So the satisfaction of it was like, man, I know I can do it. But um, yeah, that's all it really gave me, is like, hey, I know I can do this, right? Because it was really a quick time span for me.
Got you. So did your mentor told you to do 20 a day and you did 100?
Yeah,
Hey man, why did you do 100? Like,
just because when I was doing 20, I was out there for about like 10 to 20 minutes. So I felt like that wasn't enough from that standpoint. Somebody actually just asked me that. It's like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm just gonna go all in on it. So I feel like 10 to 20 minutes, like that just didn't feel like it was enough work put in. So I felt like I needed just to do more. So I was just like, okay, instead of doing 10 to 20 minute job for dollars, let me see what I get in 3, 4 hours. Or let me have a goal of 100 and let me go until I get 100. So I know at least I have a better chance.
for sure. And y'all, mindset is everything. Like, because I mentor people and I have students, and some people don't take extreme accountability for their results. Like, you tell them to do something, maybe, and they hit you up, or like I say, hey, just make the calls. But they worry about, well, how do I make an offer? Well, how do I do this? How do I do that? And they so worried about not making the calls. And let's say I had this one student, I didn't reply for like probably like a day because, I run a business and got my own stuff going. and they was like, "Hey, I feel like I'm not getting the type of help I need from you and stuff like that." But they didn't do the work that I told them to do.
Right.
I'm saying that to say you have that extreme and you have the other extreme where you tell somebody what to do and they do 5x more because you could have been satisfied with doing 20%. Hey, I'm doing what he tell me to do. But like that's where that mindset comes in because I say real estate is not that hard. Like, of course, when you first get started, it's a lot of learning to do. It's simple. Let me say it's simple, but it's hard to do. But it's simple. And Trevor, like what Tyson said, if your mentor say do 20 properties, do 100. If you say do 100, do 200, 300. Like it's all on you. Like it's not your mentor fault. It's on you if you get the result.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to bring my guy Tyson on because he's got that dog mentality. Like y'all have to be a dog.
Yeah.
I talk up before we get too deep because we got a lot more to go. Like, where did you get that dog mentality from? Like just being this was before the first deal. So where did that dog mentality come before you even got into real estate?
I would say I would say sports. And I would also say like my parents, specifically my dad. My dad's super competitive. So I just seen him growing up in the gym, just always trying to compete with somebody, always trying to be the best at what he was trying to do. Um, it translated to me, in that aspect. I just seen when he found his passion that he would actually love and he just was all motivated every single day to do. Like I just seen him go super hard at it and didn't skip at it, try to cheat it.
Yeah.
And for me, I just didn't want to cheat real estate when I realized, man, this is something that I can do. So I know I got to just go all in. And then again, like I said, I grew up playing sports, so you had to be a dog playing football. So that was just part of it.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So like after deal one, like how did you start getting more deals? Because a lot of people, if you're watching, maybe I deal one, deal two. Like, tell me your process of going from deal one to deal 10, 20 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a great question because my journey in real estate is different from a lot of people, but maybe similar to a few. But after my first deal, again, I was in high school, so closed the deal. Then school started, so I stopped because I had to focus. Then I played football, things like that. So I didn't pick real estate up until after I graduated. So
Okay.
I didn't start back until that summer, July, when I turned 18. So when I picked back up, I hit back up my mentor, was like, hey, I want to get started, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I just started working with him, right? I start cold calling. I start just pounding the phones.
Okay.
But in between that time of me actually closing my first deal and closing my second deal, I was studying. And long story short, everybody was saying like, hey, you just got to be on the phones. You got to be making calls. So I already knew once I graduated, that's what I kind of expected. So as soon as I graduated, to start making calls. Um, and then I joined the team, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people, they go on and just do stuff solo, just kind of like you, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, man, again, I want the knowledge. I want to learn. Cause again, my first deal, I didn't hit up the title company. I didn't do the contract. I didn't know anything. So going on my second deal, I still didn't know anything.
Man.
I just knew how to get the deal. I just knew how to do that hustling part of it. So I joined the team. Then from there, from deal 2 to like deal 30, probably 2 to like 50, I closed deals with a team.
Gotcha. So, like, let's say somebody, just starting off, like, do you recommend them going with the team or do you recommend them doing solo? Or like, what would you say?
I feel like any young person, I would say join the team, right?
Yeah.
I definitely would say join the team and actually try to learn, actually try to add value to that person and not just try to get the game and then just leave and leave the home. I would try to build with somebody, especially if they a good operator, if they're a good business owner. I got lucky enough to found a good team that they actually did good business.
Yeah.
They were good people to follow and good people to be behind. So I would join a team with a good leader. But if you're not a good leader, then you can go learn on your own, but I would definitely join the team for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, we done had some people on our team that's like, even now turning up, doing deals on their own.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, like a team can really like accelerate your success because like Tyson, he, joined the team and like just off the gate, just going crazy. Versus I was solo starting off, which was cool, but like took me like 4 months to get my first deal, and then my next deal probably like another 4 months, and my next deal probably for another 3-4 months. So I know you was probably closing like monthly when I was taking like 3-4 months
Yeah.
per spurt.
Yeah, it's pros and cons because like while you was doing that, you was actually making, the average assignment deal 15, 20K,
Yeah.
and you was putting that in your pocket. For me, I was making a commission. But again, I feel like I was just learning, I was getting the knowledge, and that at the time the money really didn't matter at the time. And I just knew it would come eventually if I just kept on getting my skills better, kept on learning. So yeah.
No, that's all y'all. And again, going back to what we were saying earlier, wisdom is more valuable than gold. And you join a team in real estate with a good leader and they actually doing deals. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If they doing deals consistently, like if it's a team and you go a month without closing a deal, bro, you gotta leave. Like I gotta keep it a book, like because that ain't your environment. Like you want to join some dogs, like at least 2-3 a month. Like they ain't got to be on 5, 10, 15, but consistent revenue, and they're giving you opportunity, like leads, or they giving you knowledge, or they training you. Like because a lot of people just hire people and like, yeah, go watch this YouTube video, but don't train, don't develop,
Yeah.
don't give any leads or give any guidance on that. So, like I said, I feel like that's huge. Join the right team.
Doing the right thing.
Join the right, because joining anybody, you can really just set yourself up for failure. And for a couple of reasons, because like, let's say they're not doing deals, now you got a bad taste about real estate. Let's say you close a deal, they don't pay your commission, now you mad at them. Like, it's so many pitfalls, or they don't even know what they're doing. They close 5 deals, now they're trying to scale to $1 million a month. So, join a good team, like Tyson saying, with a good leader, and you definitely should, reap the rewards of that. So for sure. Was there any point where you realized, like after, so you join a team, what happens next? So you join a team, close some more deals. What happened next after that?
So, this place us around like 2018 to 2020. Again, I'm on the team hustling as an acquisition manager, just learning, grinding, closing deals, getting better at real estate. After that, obviously, I met you as a partner. We met at a mastermind event my company held, teaching people how to scale up their business. So we got introduced to each other. We didn't automatically become partners like right then and there, but I think probably 4 or 5 months after that, we became partners. And then, we kind of just started doing our own thing. We took that thing from ground zero to where it is. And yeah, that's what happened immediately after that.
Nah, for sure. So when did you realize, like, in your journey, like, okay, I can really scale this. Like, I can really like start doing multiple deals a month. Like, when in that journey did that click?
Um,
Of course, solo, because he was probably doing multiple deals with a team. But like,
so yeah, for me, uh, when I got the confidence on the phones, when I was actually doing it, um, I would say, actually, I got that confidence when I was on the team,
okay,
when I was just closing multiple deals and realized that it's not as hard as what people think. It just took really relentless time on the phone, follow up, all that stuff. And then, I think the question that well, at least what I was thinking about in my head when you asked that question was like, when did you get the confidence to kind of go by yourself or, team up with you?
yeah,
It's really when it got to a point of which, like, again, I just feel like I had all the knowledge at that point to transfer my skills and do the exact same thing, but owning the company, right?
got you.
And that was the whole point of me joining the team. Like, I feel like I didn't have the skills to go out there and be successful by myself. But at the time when we partner up, I feel like, hey, I have all the skills necessary. I have all the talents. Like, I locked up like 50 some deals with the team. I know me and Jalen could do it easily and be successful.
Gotcha. So when you was with the team, you got the confidence, then through that experience and that wisdom, you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. So when you start scaling, because a lot of people like want to scale, like
Yeah.
a lot of people want to scale, do more deals, do more than, let's say they do 5 deals a year. Like, what tools can people use to actually scale
What tools do they need to scale?
Tools in terms of like, okay, if I only done one deal this year, it's 2025. I only done one deal. Like, take me through like what you would tell that person to next year start doing one deal a month or 2 deals a month if they only did one deal in 2025.
I think for me, it's always came down to like simple math when it was like in real estate. Meaning like I would try to figure out what it took for you to get that first deal. And then pretty much if it took you 6 months to get one deal, right? Let's just say you was making 20 calls a day or you're making 2 offers a day. I would just pretty much tell you to triple that.
Okay.
So I would tell you, excuse me, to just do more output. I think that's usually what most people problem is. They don't do enough output, right?
Okay.
Like our guy Neil, he always tell me that when he first met us, he didn't realize like how much work you really needed to put in to be successful. Because at the time he was on his 3rd deal, right? So he started doing multiple deals working with us. And he always tell me like, bro, I really didn't know what it took to do multiple deals per month until we start working with us. So I would just say I'll take that guy that's doing 1-2 deals a year and just analyze what they're actually doing on a daily basis and tell them just do more. Because usually at that small of a number, they're just not doing enough. That's usually the truth. It's not that they're not smart or it's not that they don't know what to do. It's just they literally not doing enough.
Got you. So just do more. Like,
Really.
okay.
When we talk about like that little and that small of a scale, yeah, you just not, you probably, I just don't see how, if you're making calls every day and you making offers every day, there's no way you can at least do one deal a month just by putting in a lot of effort.
No, that makes sense. So, one thing we used to say a lot, and I think kind of what you're speaking to is process over product, the process over, result. Because a lot of people just like, okay, I want the money. And you tell them, make the calls. Nah, I don't want to do that. I just want the money. We're like, I want to close one deal a month, but like you want to close one deal a month, but you're putting in effort to close one deal every year. They're like really just, intensifying effort and focus on the process. Like in business, process and systems are everything. Like if you're not focused on the process, you just not gonna get the result. You just not gonna get the result.
Yeah.
And kind of like well, I'm gonna get to that a little bit later. But stay tuned, y'all. I got a great question, and Tyson gonna give out a secret strategy he been doing to cash flow on properties without even owning the house. Like, so just stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned. But how did you find and close consistent off market deals, or how do you find and close consistent off market deals today? Like, obviously, we talked about the scale. We talked about, you know, being 300 deals in plus, like the people probably like, okay, how do you do it today?
So for me, when it comes to marketing, and this is with any business, it's usually only a few ways you can do it. You can go online, you can give referrals, you can do warm outreach, or you can do like cold outreach. So
Yeah.
I'm a master at like just cold outreach. So how I get most of all of my deals today is simply cold calling. Who am I cold calling? Homeowners. Who am I cold calling? Realtors. I'm cold calling anybody that's involved in the real estate space every single day. So that's simply how I'm getting most of my deals today.
Cold call, just answer the phone.
That's it.
So it really didn't change the blueprint.
I really didn't. I mean, because truth be told, we tried the other stuff and it just wasn't our cup of tea. With cold calling, we knew at least it was a proactive way of marketing. We knew that as long as we controlled the variable of us picking up the phone and dialing, we had a chance of actually doing some deals versus you doing online and not knowing if somebody clicked, all the other stuff that we really just can't measure like that.
So your pick, if somebody wanted to start doing marketing, is like somebody wanted to start wholesaling and doing marketing is cold calling.
Yeah. I mean, especially with a business that nobody knows, with a person don't have a brand, they don't have a reputation, they're not an end buyer, I would say cold calling for sure.
Oh. So during a journey, bro, like what mental blocks did you have to break when you started playing at like higher levels? So obviously, like we talked about under 100 deals, under 150 deals. Like, we start playing at those higher levels. What should, for my higher level, in terms of people who are on the higher level of real estate, what mental blocks do you have to really like, pretty much, what was blocking you that you had to get through to at those higher levels?
It was two that came to my mind when you said that. One is like spending money. Like, I think a lot of people have a mental block of actually just investing and keep trying to grow their business because they want to take all the money and, you know, buy all the nice things and stuff like that, but they not focused on scaling. So I would say spending money to actually grow your business. And then number two, just I remember early on, in my career, sometimes I would get self-doubt on, like, dang, like, can I actually close deals? Am I actually a good salesperson? Just because sometimes in real estate, you may have a slow period and you're not just realizing that it's just slow, but then next week you may turn up and get 5, 6, 7 deals. So I would think that, dang, I put in all the outputs, but I'm not getting nothing. Am I really built for this? And not knowing that, you just setting yourself up to have it crazy next month, crazy next week. So I used to just doubt my ability sometimes of just closing because in the beginning I wasn't seeing consistent results as far as like every week 2 deals a week, or it would kind of be like 2 deals, 0, 3, 0, 0, 6, things like that.
That makes sense. So pretty much like, don't be scared to spend money on marketing.
Yeah.
And then also like, just trust in your abilities. Like, trust the work you put in, trust the the foundation you built.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that makes sense. So like, kind of when you was talking about that, like, roadblocks for me was like, I think one, you gotta stay grounded in why you got into real estate. That's one thing that I kind of like veered off from, is like, because you hear people and talk about scale, but like, play your game. Like, if your game wasn't coming in to scale, like, don't scale. Like, if your game was like rental properties or like cash flow, or if your game was eventually, okay, I want to start developing buildings downtown, but I'm getting a wholesaling that's like an avenue, don't get too caught up in the minutia of wholesaling. So I was saying, also, roadblocks being at a high level. Like, once you do 200, 300 deals, like, another thing I would say is like, profit is way better than revenue. Like, if you close in 100, because at points we was at like 100K a month. That's cool, but at one point we were spending like 50K in marketing, and we had commissions. So like, net probably like 20, and you still gotta pay yourself.
Right.
You still gotta, at that point, it was part of the whatever point. It's like, you gotta split it, and then like, then you get off your game. Like, because for me it was rental properties, but if we close 100K a month and selling all the good deals, it's like we can't close on, because we have to pay the marketing budget. It's like, you can't close. Like, then you getting in a trick 22, because you got to pay your guys, you got to pay your marketing expense. If you don't close that deal, it's like, okay, next month you look. So it's like, stay in the game of what you want to do, y'all. Like,
You really do.
you stay in the game, because, and then profit is way better than revenue. Like, let's say you close one deal a month, but that one deal is, let's say, 20, 25K. Like, you're really probably outperforming a lot of people who are doing 100K, like 50K, if their marketing budget, if they're not worried about profit. So I would say, in this game, like, focus on what you want to do and focus on profit. Just because you hear people say, I closed 20 deals this month, 30 deals, cool, that's their journey. Like, but don't get blindsided by their journey.
Just because what people got to understand is real estate wholesaling is a business, right? So some people get into real estate wholesaling and they want wholesaling to be their cash flowing business. Like, that don't mean they don't have any intentions on building a real estate portfolio and doing anything like that. They just want to, hey, I want to take this company to wherever it can, and this is going to pay my lifestyle for the rest of my life. And that's, again, like you said, just getting caught up, just hearing people, like, that's what they really wanted for them. But it's like, okay, we knew that we want to own assets, and just kind of diving that, like, realizing, like, you don't really take what most people think in order to achieve that, versus like, it takes different type of work to achieve like the wholesaling cash flow business. That's what I would say.
Oh, nah, for sure. So I mean, y'all like, and let's talk about like roadblocks and like scaling like our operation. Like, what roadblocks, or just in general, like do you find as you run into like just scaling, like trying to get more and more and more deals? Like, what roadblocks did you run into trying to scale?
For me, it was always like people. It was like just because everybody was a little different. You know, you had your guys that came in and they performed really well. Then you had guys that took a little bit longer, but ended up being good. So just not knowing like, okay, is this person really good fit? Are they gonna be successful? Um, and just setting them up really properly as well, right? So I would say people, I would say like systems and like processes was still a little bit all over the place, but I would say those two things were like the main bottleneck. But if I had to say anything, I'll probably say like people. Because you know, at one point we were just hiring really anybody, right? Anybody that wanted a job, they could pretty much come work with us. And we try to make them good. Some worked out, some didn't work out, but that's what I would say. What would you say?
And leadership. Yeah, because like with us being so young, bro, like, oh my God, like when I say y'all like learning in the field, like, yeah, it wasn't no college, it wasn't no preparation. Like, I played sports in high school, but I wasn't like a quarterback or where you have to lead the team.
Yeah.
Or like, I never had a spot where I had to lead people. So for me with real estate, like even like becoming a better person, like it was like a lot of stuff I had to get better on with just overall because like you were saying, setting people up, that's leadership. Like, okay, how many leads are you giving them? Is the data quality? Are the leads quality? Do we have too many people for the amount of leads we getting to where everybody can't eat? It's like a lot of stuff. Okay, how are you treating your people? How are you, handling situations where stuff get hot? Because like again, with leadership, like when stuff get hot, like you got to keep your head in the game. And there were moments, young, being 2021, where it's like stuff got hot and like I got out the kitchen. I'm just being honest because it was leadership that I was lacking. And what I always say is like the law of process and what we read in the book 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That's a fire book you trying to tell leadership up. But like it talks about the law of process, like Colin was talking about with real estate is gonna be a process, with leadership is a process. So like,
Yeah.
but so leadership for me, like just setting your people up, how you set everything up, and then just the process of just becoming because those skills that you like real estate, getting the deal, hustling is like your skill is different.
Yeah.
From like okay, being a
Team play. Yeah.
yeah, being a boss, being a leader, being that you know shit. If you ain't on point, the whole ship going down. Like being that is different from just hustling. So I think that's the biggest thing. But I'm glad for the opportunity to grow in the process in this because I know, God was getting me ready for what He already had ready for me in the future.
Right.
When I get to see it again. But that's all I'll say. Leadership, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Being in acquisition, like starting off as an acquisition, man.
Yeah.
Having a company where you're calling, when you had acquisition managers and the whole nine, what habits or routines did you keep to like stay on point and sharp? Because that's a lot of like acquisition can get repetitive. Like
Yeah.
it's like same thing every day. Like how do you stay sharp? Is there any routines or habits that you do? Or,
Back then, man, I used to just train a lot. So to keep me sharp, I was always listening to other people make calls. I was listening to my own calls. I was role playing a lot. So I would say those are the biggest things that really helped me. Like just like I had who I used to listen to, Real Estate Diddy.
yeah.
He was a really big influence on me early on in my career. Just listen to him a lot and then listen to my own phone calls and just actually role playing and trying to get better. I think that's what a lot of people do lack. Even if you are solo, I think you should do something like that because it makes a huge difference. Like I'm just thinking about my phone calls when I was first starting versus where I'm at now is just like night and day. So I think you definitely, when you are starting out, you gotta take that serious in the beginning. And then once you get real better, then you can start doing other things. But You got to learn how to communicate. You got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn how to be persuasive because, you are trying to get somebody to sell their house at a discounted price.
No, for sure. So is there anything like habits or routines off the phones that you like kept you sharp, like off the phones that like kept you on point?
I would say, what habits?
Like, you know how people be like, okay, I wake up at 4, go
Oh, I
fit
mean,
ice tub. Is there anything like that you do?
back then, nah, I was never that guy.
Yeah.
And I was never that guy, honestly. I mean, that doesn't mean I haven't tried it, but it never really stuck with me. For me, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna get up and work as hard as I can. So that was kind of, Alex almost say that a lot. Like I didn't have a morning routine. I just got up and worked. Like I didn't have I don't have anything. I just got up and worked.
Just pay wanted.
Did just want, yeah.
Nah, for sure. So what deal, like, because obviously, like, you wholesale,
Mm-hmm.
you fix and flip. We gonna get to another strategy he's doing. But what deal humbled you the most, like, in this whole process? Like, what deal, like, so okay, that's a humble pot.
Like in the good way or a bad way?
Bad way, like humbled, like, dang, like, okay, let me get right, like, humble.
Humble. I'm trying to think. I would say the deals that humbled me. I got two deals. One of them, I don't know. So I remember we had a deal early on in our career. It was in Arlington, and we got it. Me and Jalen, we thought it was gonna be just a regular deal, and we sent it to one of our best buyers, and he actually wanted it. And we was like, okay, we'll do the deal for you. And you end up putting the deal out, and I remember we started getting blown up, like literally, like over asking. People was like they want it, and you was getting blown up. So I think the deal that we had with our relationship that we had with our buyer was probably gonna make like 10, 15, but we had other offers where we can make 25, 30.
Yeah.
And we went to go tell him, like, hey, bro, like, we know we just told you that we're gonna do the deal with you, but we can make 25, 30. So we want to go with that. And I guess it humbled me by his response because he was like, man, um, like if y'all gonna do business, y'all shouldn't do business like this. Just because you gave somebody your word, you told them that you're gonna do it, you gotta honor it. Now, I forgot what we ended up doing. I think did we end up doing a deal with him? Oh,
We did. Yeah.
so it just humbled me because honestly, at the time, I didn't really think none of it. Like I didn't realize like how important relationships was. And just think about it, like he's one of the like key relationships that we have today in real estate. And I just feel like if we would have messed that up back then and not done the right thing, who knows, where I ain't gonna say where we would be, but like that relationship is actually pretty key right now. So I would say that deal, and then um actually that's it. I don't know. I was gonna say the deal we lost EMD on, but I don't know.
Yeah. So pretty much like it humbled you because relationships are you realize the importance of relationships at that time?
Yeah, like at that time when I was getting into real estate, like I ain't gonna say it didn't matter, but like again, we early entrepreneurs, we're early business owners. Like we didn't hear that word a lot. And you always talk about relationship capital. It's like we didn't know nothing about that. So yeah, that's why I would say that.
Nah, for sure. And relationship capital, y'all, is just like a lot of people want capital, want money, but there's another thing that you can use, like relationship capital to get money, especially in real estate, from lenders, buyers, and the whole nine. Like you need relationships. You cannot make money in real estate by yourself. So if you ain't got no people around you to either buy the deal from you or lend on a deal, or even if you go on the market fixing, flipping, you need somebody to, buy the house from you. If you renting out a house, you need somebody to. So it's like it's always that relationship aspect in real estate because so always with like buyers or lenders or everything like that, like keep the relationship as much as you can. Of course, things happen, but have the intention going into a relationship like you're trying to do good. Don't have a bad intention.
Right.
I think that's huge. Intention is huge because like things go wrong and you can't really control this business. But as long as your intention is like, okay, I'm not gonna screw this person over, like, because with that, deal, we could have just assigned and be like, hey, yeah, the seller backed out.
Yeah, we could.
But our intention was like, hey, like, okay, we got another offer. Like, we just keeping it transparent. So
Yeah.
keep good intentions and understand like things go wrong in business, but keep the intention good and you will be solid with the relationship capital. And they realize every relationship probably won't pan out. Like, because some people be tripping, like, and you know, some people be saying, oh, we trip. So it's like, but just understand, like, relationship capital is you're supreme. So has there ever been a point where you feel like you lost it all, and how did you bounce back?
Do I feel like I lost it all?
Was there ever a point where you feel like again, like you reset and they're like, dang, I did all of this for to be at this point. Like, was there ever a point like that in your real estate career?
I'm trying to think.
And if so, how did you bounce back from that?
Lost it. I would say the only time that I felt like, dang, I was resetting is like when we had broke up our partnership the first time. I felt like we had something that we was scaling up and we was like on a trajectory, but it's like we just took a whole pivot. So I
Yeah.
feel like that was the biggest thing. And how did I bounce back from that? Honestly, just really just started believing myself. I think who was I talking to about this? It was either Neil or you. We could have been talking about it. My biggest thing about when we had broke up, it wasn't even necessarily about like the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
It was more or less about like, dang, I think I'm about to lose a brother relationship because, you know, we skipped out on college. We skipped out on like the fun. We skipped out on like important relationships, you know,
Right.
like, so I was like, dang, like this was actually like my friend, like this my brother, like we probably not gonna be talking no more.
Yeah.
And once I realized that we still gonna be talking, we still gonna be cool, I was like, nah, like honestly, I was cool.
No.
So honestly, that was probably like my biggest thing. And of course, I like doing business with you, but that was mine, honestly.
Nah, that makes sense. And that shows like your personality in terms of like you're really in the right spot in terms of like being in real estate because like relationships, how serious you take them. And like, you know, through the years, seeing how serious you take, you know, friendships or like business relationships. I think that's like an edge that you got in this space. Like, cause I'm in real estate, but I don't like being on the phone. Like, I know it sounds crazy. Like, again, you got to do what you don't want to do what you want to do. So there's a period in my life where it's like I'm on the phones because I want to be in real estate. But like, I feel like as well, like for you, it's like that's what always like your natural inclination. Like me and Tyson will be texting, he calling me. Like it's like, bro, like forget all that text and stuff. And we just different, which is cool. Like he like, bro, let's hop on the phone, bro. What do we texting for? What's cool. But I say that to say, like, picking a picking a an industry that fits your like your persona or fits who you are is huge because I feel like, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
you like being on the phones, you like relationships.
Yeah.
So it's like real estate kind of like perfect kind of situation.
Yeah, honestly. So it for sure. It was kind of a match made just because I prefer to do those things versus like texting versus all that other stuff. I'm just, I guess, old school in that regard. Just let's hop on the phone, let's talk through it. Let's do that. Let's do business like that.
Absolutely. So like if you want to get into real estate and you don't like being on the phone, I'm not telling you don't be in real estate. You gonna have to just do it, but like pick an industry that, you know, you inclined a little bit more for, or in real estate, pick an avenue to where it fits you more. Like if you don't like calling like that, pick like another way you can get deal relationships. That's how I get majority of my deals, like relationship capital. So it's like I don't have to be on the phones now. It's just I get a deal on my phone, cool, let's do it. No. And then that's how I get my deal. So but that take time. So, but starting off, I would say get on the phones. But like, if you see, I hate being on the phones, real estate, and you just like, I'm not getting on the phones, real estate not for you. Like,
Yeah.
cause you gonna be on the phone too. It's like, I mean, so
If you can't push past that, if you just won't do it, then yeah, it's not gonna be. Or if you're not willing to go out there, network, talk to people, shake hands, like just get out the industry for sure.
nah, facts. So, what mistake do you see like new investors making every day that you wish you could stop? Like, what mistake do you see other investors making that are just getting in their way of being successful?
What's getting in their way from being successful? Um, I just feel like a lot of people overthink stuff. I think rather that's overthinking what to offer, overthinking what to name their company, overthinking the contract, overthinking the earnest money,
Oh, that's the logo.
overthinking the logo. I think people just overthink and get in their head, which ultimately leads them not to doing anything. I just think if you understand that you're gonna mess up, you understand you're not gonna be perfect, you could just take more action. You could be okay with the results. So I think that was what we was always on. Like, hey, we didn't have to have it all together, but we knew that we just going hard. We trying to get deal. We trying to like all that other stuff didn't matter. So I just feel like a lot of investors are overthinking. Even if you're doing fix and flips, a lot of people know the numbers are good, know it's a good deal, but oh, what if something else goes wrong? Or what if the realtor don't sell it in 45 days? It's like, just open. That's what I would say.
No, facts. Analysis paralysis, kind of like, have all your eggs in a row before you make a step. Like, you go, like, take action, y'all. Like, that, if y'all get one thing from this podcast, like, action and do more than what was, you know, what you, like, whatever, somebody told you to do more. Like, do more than that. If you, have to do something differently, starting out in 2025, we had to start from scratch, you had zero, but you had your knowledge. What would you do differently than how you started?
So what would I do different? I would just pretty much stay humble a little bit longer. I wouldn't start upping my expenses. I wouldn't start because in real estate wholesaling we started making a lot of money. We didn't start just getting apartments, start getting new cars, things like that. So I would just stay humble a lot longer, stack up my cash. I would focus on buying assets and then have those assets pay for my liability. So that's one thing that I really look back on is like, dang, I had the opportunity to do that, but I didn't do it. But here we are now. But telling anybody new, I would not move out. I would not buy anything new until your assets are actually paying for your liabilities. So that's what I would say.
Facts. Facts. That actually leads us to the secret sauce we giving the people. So, um, I know you told me about this new strategy you're doing. Not really that much people talk about it, but how are you cash flowing like on houses? Tell me your strategy. Like, what is it? And how can people cash flow on houses without even owning them?
That's a good question. So it's a simple concept, and a simple strategy. It's in the creative finance type of world, but it's a strategy called slow flip, where you're not necessarily flipping the house like a wholesale and getting a big chunk. You're not flipping it and getting a bit large chunk. You slow flipping it. So what you're doing is you're buying a distressed asset, right? As is, let's just say the as is value is 100,000.
Okay.
And let's just say the ARV is 200,000. Instead of wholesaling it, what you're gonna do is you're gonna close on it, and then you're gonna resell it to an end buyer, but on owner finance terms. So what that looks like is, okay, you buy it for 100,000, you sell it for 150, you collect the down payment, and then they pay you monthly for it. So you in this business that I'm in, I'm basically the bank, I'm the lender versus, the landlord. So that's just where my role is in that side of it.
Gotcha. So for the audience, okay, the same process you're doing on wholesaling, you find a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of wholesaling and flipping it,
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing is you're no rehab, no nothing. You're immediately selling it to a homeowner that wants to live in it for the long term.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, when that person comes and say, hey, Tyson, I want to buy this, how does those numbers look like? Talking through a deal like you've done.
So I recently done a deal in Mesquite. I acquired it for 130,000. So me and my investor, we bought it for 130,000. I turned around and sold it for 185. They had gave me $15,000 down, so I financed 170 for 30 years, and their mortgage payment to me is about 1790 per month. That's right around like 12% interest. So a lot of people may ask, like, why would somebody do that deal? Why would somebody want to even live there? Well, the ideal person that I'm looking for is somebody that can't qualify for traditional financing, or, don't have the tax returns ready, or they may not have their stuff together, but they do have the cash, they do have the qualifications, so we can get them a house. Now, other people may say, like, why would you finance to somebody that's not qualified? Well, because since they're putting down like such a large down payment, since they're paying such a high interest, if they decide they just want to stop paying, well, we can do the whole process again. We could do it again over and over. We could keep making money and we will never lose. And our cost basis is so low. Let's just say I decide I don't even want to do this business no more. Well, I'm in it at 130. I could probably sell it as is for 150 and still, if I just want to get rid of it, right? So I just kind of look at it like that.
So getting you getting a great deal, you're selling to a homeowner that doesn't qualify, you're charging them 12% interest rate, you're getting a down payment,
Right.
and you're cash flowing for 30 years.
Right.
And if for any reason they default, you're able to get the home back and then resell it or just sell it outright.
Yeah, so whatever like, because now that you're a lender, you got to follow like the foreclosure laws, things like that. So I could probably get a house back 60, 90 days, right? So if they start making payments, just like if you start making payments on a mortgage, you're going to get out. You're going to be put out.
So do you have to fix the roof if it start leaking?
Yeah, so that's the best thing, and that's the reason why I love this, because you don't have to do anything. All you're doing is servicing the debt. Like, you literally don't have to fix the roof. You don't have to fix the AC. You don't have to do anything as far as repairs or maintenance or keep up versus if you're a landlord.
That's crazy. We might have to start calling that Tyson flip. It's slow flip. But now, y'all, that's a crazy strategy. Just think about this. You can cash flow on real estate without owning it. Don't have to fix no toilets. Don't have to fix the AC unit or anything like that. And what I want to point out, which is crazy to me, because with me, I like rentals, but what's really intriguing me about this strategy is you have 40K in equity on your note.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you said, like if something, you can't liquidate it like as you can a rental per se, but it's like you have $40,000. So eventually, like, you're going to be cash flowing just like $1,000 a month or whatever for that 40,000. That right? Like once they pay off the 130,
yeah,
we got 40,000
for sure. And then the biggest thing is, like you said, you actually can. So it's people out there that buy mortgage notes. So if I wanted to, just like a rental property, once it's stabilized, meaning the tenant's been in there 6 to 12 months, I can go sell this note to somebody that they can't find notes. So they use people like me and they'll buy the note because it's already stabilized.
Wait. So you own the house, get cash flow, can exit anytime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because think of it like when you own a house, your mortgage company changes a few times. Most people don't have the same, unless you're going with Chase. Well, if you're using like a broker to give you a lend, like it's going to change a few times for sure.
This is a crazy strategy, bro. Why you feel like a lot of people don't really talk about like this? Because like rentals versus this, like you get all the benefits, some not, but
It's
you
just
get a lot of juicy benefits without the risk. It seemed like
it's just I think it's slower, and I think that the only thing that don't come good with this is like you don't get no tax benefits. But if you're just looking for cash flow, I think this is the best way to go in today's market. And that don't mean I won't ever buy rentals or rentals won't work. It's just like rentals today just don't work. Hey, I'm pencil out. So I think this strategy in today's market kind of trumps it.
because you're getting 12% interest. So like with
Right.
interest rates in the high interest rate environment, you're still able to cash flow because
Right.
you're getting the interest rate. Hey man, that's a fire strategy, Tyson.
Yeah.
That's a